Hello, welcome to this update for the Caribbean. So let's see what's happening. We have tropical storm Nadine now, so it manages to form last night. So it's now a tropical storm. Let's see what's happening. So it will go towards like the Yucatan and Belize. It might make landfall in Belize there as a tropical storm. There's the tropical storm warnings in the Yucatan and northern Belize because most of the tropical storm force winds are in the northern part of the system. So and it might be a tropical depression in Guatemala, and then some very heavy rain in the tropical storm. So the rainfall potential, they have close to like 200 millimeters in the Yucatan and northern Belize more than 150. They have more than like 300 millimeters in Mexico near Veracruz and Oaxaca, and some other areas more than 150 millimeters, other parts of Mexico, and all the yellow areas could get close to 100 millimeters. So please be careful there, and also in the 50 to 100 millimeters in the dark green areas. So be careful. There are the tropical storm force winds there in Belize and the Yucatan. So be careful with the winds, and no winds hurricane speed, just tropical storm speed. So let's see. Localized areas of flash flooding are possible along the track of Nadine across southern Mexico, northern Guatemala, northern Belize. Tropical storm conditions are expected along parts of the coast of Belize, the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico within the warning area through this afternoon. So be careful there. This is about to like go in there like 1 p.m. It will have made landfall. Alright, so be careful there. Let's see. So this is the current information. There's a lot of convection there. Some very big storms. So be careful with flooding and very heavy rain and lightning and all those things, especially flash flooding. So be aware of the strong winds too, especially in the Yucatan and northern Belize. And like there's the track. Most models take this through Belize and Mexico and then out into the Eastern Pacific again. And the intensity guidance, some models have all the way to category 5 on the Eastern Pacific, but this is later, like after exits into the Eastern Pacific again. Now it's tropical storm there, then it will weaken over Central America and maybe strengthen again on the Eastern Pacific. So we'll keep monitoring. There's like the GFS ensembles. It doesn't have much support for going into the ocean again, but it lingers around Central America there. The Canadian ensembles eventually strengthens this more on the Eastern Pacific. So be aware those areas. Now there's something interesting. There's like invest 94L there, so it's 60% chance already. So because if you look at the satellite imagery here, this looks like a tropical storm already. This is invest 94L. The shape and everything, it looks very much like a tropical storm. The intensity guidance is just like less than tropical storm force winds, but it could get there. It might be designated depression or something if the low level circulation manages to organize better. But the intensity guidance does have this tropical storm. Many models now have this because yesterday there was literally like 2 models showing up here, and not even them struggle to get to tropical storm strength. Now there are like close to 10 models, and most of them, half of them doesn't show anything, and half of the models show tropical storm strength in 24 hours or something. So this could still make a run for it. The ship's models, some other ones still have a category 1 hurricane, but that's not very likely because of the dry air coming up. So these models have it going near the Turks and Caicos, passing by Cuba and curving north into the Atlantic again. And some models like the Canadian have this going into the Caribbean, but most just curve it out again there in the Bahamas and the Atlantic. So here's the GFS. It has nothing there, making it form Belize and parts of Guatemala. Might be very strong in northern Guatemala and Belize. Not very strong, but like some heavy rain. And shows in Mexico that heavy rain goes into the Eastern Pacific. And the other one doesn't show, the GFS doesn't have it developing, but we never know. by the the structure it is on satellite, it could be that designated. But let's see, the European model does have more of a circulation 94L, but still very little. It has nothing there in Belize, and goes into Mexico, and the Eastern Pacific might be stronger there. There's the Canadian, barely has nothing on 94L, but it has nothing there. And the heavy rain, there's the icon, it has nothing there, goes into Central America, the heavy rain, and it tries to get Oscar going, but not really. That's like weak. But we'll see. There's nothing there by the Neptune, and the other one very weak, barely shows anything. So yeah, there's the HRF for 94L, so it's there now. The HRF does show it like kind of going down to 999 as it passes just north of Cuba. Might be tropical storm strength and then goes out. There's the halves A, shows shows it there. Very disorganized through Cuba and some areas, so nothing really crazy. Might have a better chance to become like tropical storm like now. There's the H1, wait, it's here, 94L, shows it now a little bit stronger. Might be a tropical storm strength in a day or so, or in 2 days, but depending on what they say today on the National Hurricane Center, it might be a storm already. So we'll keep tracking, but the main concern with this is the heavy rain might bring to parts of the Turks and Caicos, might bring some gusty winds in the Turks and Caicos, and like in Cuba too, so southern Bahamas, Cuba, and the Turks and Caicos might be some periods of very heavy showers and storms, and through eastern Cuba too, so be careful there. And yeah, so that's the main threat. And there's the one in Central America, Nadine, so shows very heavy rain in Belize and the Yucatan as this goes in. Northern Guatemala might have some very heavy rain too, some flash flooding and some gusty winds too, so be careful. Northern Guatemala into Mexico shows a very strong coming to Mexico, like the rainfall, some very high rainfall and flash flooding in a big portion of southern Mexico and eastern Mexico. Even after this goes into the Eastern Pacific, it keeps showing some heavy rains near Mexico, Guatemala, and some areas. So please be careful there. The GFS shows those heavy rains there, the same thing, and the icon too. So stay safe in Central America. Be careful with flooding, stay safe from flash flooding. There the wind gusts, the European does shows those strong winds, those tropical storm force winds there, and shows the worst wind like in Mexico and the Yucatan, but there might be some gusty winds in northern Guatemala as well. Southern Mexico, there's those strong winds near the Pacific, and as this comes, shows more gusty winds in some areas of southern Mexico, then it kind of calms down. So be aware there. There's like wait, the rainfall accumulation till next Thursday does show Belize there like 114 millimeters, 101, some 90, 119 millimeters. Guatemala, like western and northern Guatemala, more than 100 millimeters. Through southern Mexico shows more than 100. So all these areas go have the danger flash flooding. Southern Mexico, not those areas, just to see it better here. So wait, so like in Oaxaca, Veracruz, and Chiapas, will be the worst of the rain near like Veracruz and Oaxaca. So more than 200, 300 millimeters near the Gulf Coast, more than 100, 200 millimeters, and further north, so like 200 millimeters too. So please stay safe there. Guatemala near the Pacific, there might be close to 100 millimeters too, a little bit heavier. Shows in Costa Rica, some heavy rain for central Costa Rica and Panama, so some periods of heavier showers and storms throughout Costa Rica, parts of Panama, so be aware. Southern Nicaragua too, so yeah, be aware there. And in Cuba, the European model has more than 150 millimeters in Cuba as this passes by. has Turks and Caicos 68, 50 millimeters, but this might be like just 67 millimeters, but it might be like more intense because as all those thunderstorms are passing over there, because it shows a lot of convection here, so it might be just 67 millimeters, but they may be like very intense, so be careful there. Shows more than 170 millimeters, southern Bahamas, and some other areas there. So be careful. It might curve through Cuba and go out there. So be careful with flooding parts of Cuba, the Bahamas. The GFS is much less, but it does have some stuff. And the icon is focusing more on the Turks and Caicos. The icon is more than 200 millimeters in the Turks and Caicos. There might be some flooding if this happens. It shows even northern Haiti and an island there. So please be careful in those areas, but the most likely track is like through Cuba there and up and out. And the Turks and Caicos might be very heavy. So stay safe there. Let me say this in Spanish. En Belize y el Yucatán de México, que está dejando lluvias muy fuertes en el Yucatán, norte de Honduras y partes de Guatemala. Esta tormenta tropical entrará en Belize con lluvias y tormentas muy fuertes así. Y Yucatán de México, si estás ahí, precauciones así. Guatemala muestra más lluvias fuertes. Norte de Guatemala, cuando esto pasará, va a haber algunos vientos un poco más fuertes y tormentas. Y sur de Guatemala, algunos en el Pacífico. En México pueden haber los vientos más fuertes. Y todo el sur de México, ves esto, lluvia muy fuerte. Esto domingo, día 20, lunes, día 21, muestra lluvia bastante fuerte, sí. Sur y el este de México, en el Golfo, sí. Entonces, muchísimas precauciones. La acumulación de lluvia hasta el jueves 24 muestra más de 200, 300 milímetros sur de México, en Veracruz y Oaxaca y otras zonas aquí como Puebla y Chiapas, y va a caer como Quintana Roo en el Yucatán, entonces precauciones. Campeche puede haber unas lluvias más fuertes, entonces precauciones con inundaciones repentinas, rayos y tormentas más fuertes. Los vientos están más fuertes, vientos de tormenta tropical así, algunas zonas de México y más en otras zonas así, vientos más fuertes, precauciones. Good. So stay safe there. Let's just see some other models here, like the Canadian model, just to like compare the rainfall. And let's see here. So it does show where's like total precipitation. So this until next Thursday too, like the other ones. So shows like those yellows, more than 100 millimeters in some areas, like 200 in Mexico. Those areas potentially 300, 200 in parts of southern Mexico. Northern Honduras shows still close to 100 millimeters next 5 or so days. Shows also in Cuba there close to 100 millimeters near the Turks and Caicos. And might be a storm or two in Jamaica, more in the Cayman Islands, some showers. And shows in Belize more than 100, close to 150, 200 millimeters. So be careful in Guatemala, more than 100 millimeters in most of northern central Guatemala. So stay safe there. And just to show you some other areas, like let's just put this rain accumulation until Monday in the next 2 days. Show some showers in the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago, some areas there, Puerto Rico. But if I put this until next Thursday, it shows more like Barbados, close to 31 millimeters, St. Lucia, 23, Trinidad and Tobago, 39 to 4 millimeters. So be aware, because later next week there's this area of showers and storms there near like Guyana and Suriname, potentially more passing showers and storms. That Sunday, some showers, but shows the next week this area showers and storms potentially. Next Tuesday into next Wednesday, some more showers and storms there, especially like later next weekend, Friday the 25th. So yeah, we'll watch for that, but nothing crazy. There's the GFS too, shows those passing showers and storms in the Eastern Caribbean and other areas. So be aware. And this rain in eastern Mexico might affect a good portion of eastern Mexico, even southernmost Texas might be some rain, but nothing crazy. So be aware. So stay safe from this tropical storm and the flooding in Central America, and we could possibly have Oscar later today from this other area, or just a depression or something. So we'll keep monitoring. Stay safe.